Google Cloud recently announced a new PostgreSQL interface for Cloud Spanner. This combines the power and reliability of Spanner with the familiarity of Postgres. Postgres is a well-established open-source database with a vibrant and growing ecosystem that many development and ops teams are already familiar with. The Postgres interface allows organizations to take advantage of Google's managed relational database using standard tools and skills from the Postgres ecosystem. The interface supports Spanner's rich feature set as well as common Postgres data types and SQL syntax. In this video, I will show you how easy it is to set up a Spanner database with the PostgreSQL interface, then integrate that into a Python application using the open source Spanner client library. And finally, I'll use the standard Postgres PSQL command line tool to explore the database. First, let's create a new Spanner instance using the Cloud Console. I'm creating a small instance for this test with Spanner's granular instance sizing. I can easily scale that up later as needed without downtime or re-architecture. A Spanner instance can host multiple databases. If you already have an existing Spanner instance, you will need to create a new database with the Postgres dialect support. When I create a database, I can choose between Google Standard SQL and PostgreSQL as the dialect. I'll select the PostgreSQL option. Both dialects support the same set of capabilities. It's important to mention that the Postgres interface does not implement all of PostgreSQL functionality. Rather, it provides Postgres syntax for existing Spanner features to avoid having to learn new semantics when you begin using Spanner. So next, I will create a users table. I'll use Postgres DDL and data types. Because it's just Postgres, this schema change would run the same in any other Postgres environment. So this makes applications written against the Postgres interface more portable. It's worth mentioning that you can use the gcloud command line tool to create the database if you prefer. Just make sure to specify the database dialect option. Leveraging one of the supported Spanner drivers, you can start writing applications against the database we just created right away. Besides the Spanner client library, no additional software is needed. For example, we have a Python application here that connects to our database and leverages the PostgreSQL interface. I've downloaded the Spanner Python client library and installed it via pip into my virtual environment. In this simple application, I import the library and define the instance and database. Then I issue an insert into our users table using familiar Postgres syntax. For instance, I'm not having to specify a column list like I would with Spanner's dialect. You'll also notice that I use the Postgres now function to populate the timestamp columns, rather than the current timestamp function available in Spanner's default SQL dialect. I just showed how we could use the native Spanner driver to run Postgres syntax SQL from a Python application. But what about other tools, like PSQL, that don't know anything about Spanner? For those, we've provided a proxy called the PGadapter that translates the Postgres wire protocol into Spanner's own gRPC-based protocol. To set it up, you will need to authenticate with the gcloud command line tool to generate the credentials required to connect to your Spanner instance. Then download the PGadapter jar file and run it. That's it. With PGadapter running, the only thing left is to connect with PSQL. I can use PSQL syntax to list out the tables. Now I can create a unique index on the email field in our users table, again leveraging Postgres syntax. Next, I want to query the information schema. You can see that the Postgres data types are displayed for the columns. Initially, PGadapter is only provided for development scenarios with PSQL, but we'd like to support a broader range of Postgres tools eventually. So that's how easy it is to set up a Spanner instance with the new PostgreSQL interface and get started using it in your application and with PSQL. If you want Google's highly available and scalable managed relational database and already know Postgres' SQL syntax, this is for you. The PostgreSQL interface for Spanner is now available for preview. You can sign up for the preview by filling out the form in the description below. Go ahead and try it out and let us know what you think in the comments.